Welcome back to another episode of the Scoop College Basketball Podcast. We are back for another conference preview. Today, we are previewing the AAC, which is a conference that has a very new look this year. Some powerhouses such as Houston, Cincinnati hadn't really been a powerhouse recently, but it was at one point in the conference, and also UCF, who not a big basketball school, but they had some decent years in there. They're all off to the Big 12, and but they replace them with a solid group of teams. Even though Houston, you lose that like one seed, like that you can always kind of count on, like for them to be a really good analytical team. Even the year they were like a 5 seed, they were still like second in KenPom, and they kind of showed that they deserved it in the tournament. But yeah, anyway, they brought in FAU, fresh of a Final Four. UAB and North Texas just had really good teams. They played an NIT championship game. Charlotte, they won the CBI, and Rice has. They usually have some pretty talented teams, and UTSA, they're decent at football.
That's right.
So yeah. What are your first thoughts on like the new look at the conference?
I think it's really deep. As far as depth goes, maybe it got a little better. No, I don't hate the new look at all.
No, I mean, obviously not gonna have Houston, but I think it's still a very solid conference. At least this year. I guess we'll see how like FAU kind of looks over the next few years. I'm guessing Dusty May isn't going to be there forever. Once like this group of guys is gone, I think he will try to take a job if he can. But he's shown that he's not in any super rush to take jobs, so it'll probably have to be the right job for him to take. But he will be a hot name on the market next year. But yeah, not a ton of returning all conference members from last year. None on the first team as Landers Nolly exhausts his eligibility. Marcus Sasser started his pro career. Kendrick Davis exhausts his eligibility. DeAndre Williams exhausts his eligibility. He's trying to get an extra year back. There's not been any confirmation on whether he will be back or not. I've read his original waiver was denied, but I mean, they're trying to appeal that. Like, that's kind of what happens when a waiver gets denied. Just randomly find more information. Not exactly sure how that process all works out. It's confusing, but Jalen Cook, he transferred to LSU. From the second team, Taylor Hendricks started his pro career. Jamal Shed and Jawan Roberts, they are back at Houston, but they are not in the conference anymore. Jarris Walker from Houston, no, started his pro career. And Jalen Forbes is back at Tulane. From the third team, David DeJulius exhausts his eligibility, as did Tyler Harris. Damian Dunn transferred to Houston, but he's no longer in conference. He would have transferred to in-conference school last year, but he did not this offseason. Kevin Cross is back at Tulane, and Craig Porter Jr. exhausts his eligibility. So out of those 15 players, only 2 of them are coming back, and both are at Tulane. So good piece of stability around there. We got some new coaches too. Aaron Fern, Charlotte. He is the interim coach for this season after Ron Sanchez left to take the Virginia assistant job late in the offseason. So we'll see how that works. But Ross Hodge from North Texas, he is elevated to head coach after Grant McCaslin left for Texas Tech. That is a hire I really like. Hodge has been with McCaslin for a while. I think there's not going to be that much difference of what you're getting, honestly. Amir Abdur-Rahim from South Florida, another amazing coaching hire, really elevated Kansas State from a super bottom dweller, even of like the whole Division I, to a team that could really compete, almost win a tournament game, really was able to get some talent there. Adam Fisher from Temple replaces Aaron McKee. I think the general consensus around this coaching hire is that it's not Matt Langle, so what are we doing? But at the same time, there's some potential with Fisher. They don't look great this year, but yeah, I know you're obviously maybe slightly biased, but you're a little bit of a fan to hire.
Yeah, no, I like him. I think he can really help fix the culture problem at the very least. As far as the talent goes, it's going to take a little while to get where it needs to be, but Temple is a lot of issues.
Yes, and Paul Mills from Wichita State is replacing Isaac Brown, who was fired. I think we all agree that's a generally good hire, and they're moving in the right step. again, maybe not this year, but Wichita State as a program shouldn't have a problem getting talent over the next few years. They've already landed some like top 150 recruits in 2024.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're back on the rise. It's going to be good to see them be good at basketball again.
Hmm.
Um, but moving to our all conference teams, let's see. I guess I didn't really pick a player of the year. My player of the year would probably be Janelle Davis.
Yeah,
From
I agree.
or yeah. I also have Elijah Martin on the first team as
Same.
well. Feel like that's pretty consensus. Jalen Forbes as well. I feel like that's a should be a pretty consensus first teamer. He wasn't even the main guy last year and he was dominant and now he is the main guy. You would think so. Yes. And I also went with two Memphis guys to round out my first team, Javon Quinterly and Jordan Brown. JQ was a solid player on some really good Alabama teams. Has shown flash of being a really good shooter in the past. We'll see if he can kind of get that back. But at the very least, he's still a very solid point guard, really solid passer that played significant minutes on the number one overall seed. And Jordan Brown, very old, very skilled big man that was really impactful at Louisiana. I
I
mean,
have
has
Eric
been
Gaines from UAB.
okay.
I think he's going to get a lot more like scoring
Okay.
volume than JQ. I don't have JQ on any of my conference teams.
Really?
No. Yeah, I
Okay.
just don't. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to be as a scorer. I think he's going to
Yeah,
be distributor. Personally, and they have David Jones. You remember he's going to be taking all those shots. Like,
that's true.
um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
Eric Gaines is going to be getting a lot of shots. I do
Okay.
that much.
I have him in my second team. The reason I didn't have him in my first team is because I don't know if he's a guy that can really do a lot like all that shot making.
Yeah,
Um, but
he's more of an athlete.
I love Eric Gaines as a prospect. He is elite on defense. He is a
Mhm.
crazy athlete. He's shown flashes of what he can do scoring wise. Not sure if we're gonna get it consistently. I mean, I saw him in my second team. I love Eric Gaines, but I don't really trust his offensive game a ton outside of his just like explosive athleticism.
Not a
Um,
great shooter yet.
yeah. But I mean, you never know. With Jelly Walker gone, maybe he can kind of take a step up just by being more comfortable with the offense, being more of a lead guard instead of just a uh off ball, like instead of just like a backup situation. But yeah, another guard out of my second team is Zurich Phelps for SMU. He's going to put up big numbers last year. Um, I think SMU has a chance to improve a little bit, so he's still going to be great. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I got him too. Yeah. I got Chris Youngblood as well from South.
Okay, I have him as well. Big scoring guard that I think should be able to translate perfectly up to this league. Played with Abdurrahim, he was like the star recruit of when Amir Abdurrahim took over at Kennesaw. Like Youngblood was like a good recruit. So like
Mm,
he was top 150, top 200, I think that range. So like he can play at this level, absolutely.
for sure. I agree.
Um,
And then I have Kobe Williams, from Tulsa. I think he's going to get a good volume of shots. So
okay. I had Williams on my third team. Another guy on my second team is Aaron Scott from North Texas. He was insanely good in both ends of the ball last year. Just wasn't a super high usage player, but I mean, no one was really a super high usage player on North Texas outside of like Tyler Perry and Kai Huntsberry was also kind of a high usage guy as well. Those players are not there anymore. I mean, if Scott can like do what he did and similar efficiencies, I think he'll be really good. Like, is a good athlete, great defender, was a fish on offense, he can kind of score from all three levels. So if he's like actually an offensive weapon, like if he actually asserts himself, he could be like really good.
he's on my breakout list. I have a lot of front court guys I like.
Okay.
Max Felder being one.
Yeah.
I have him at the four here,
Yeah.
and
Fiedler is the
then
last guy I had in my
I have
second team.
Kevin Cross as well.
Okay. I had Cross in my third team, but yeah, Fiedler, what a passer for a big man. He is the best big man passer in the country. I'm
He
pretty
is.
confident saying that. It's either him or Neil Brown, I think, but I would take Fiedler.
I would.
Um, so
They run
yeah.
the offense through him, like they
Mm-hmm.
always have.
Yes. Yeah, Cross on my third team. Guy that's like pretty skilled for a big man. More like he's kind of a five, but he more like is more like a 4, but he's still a very good passer for his size. Very versatile for how big he is. So different players, but kind of bring the same things to the table. Let's see. So I have Kobe Williams, David Jones, another guy I have my third team. I'm not a David Jones guy, but like I just think he's super talented and he's gonna get some shots. So I had him on my third team.
I got Jason Edwards from North Texas. I think he's
Okay.
going to get a lot of shots. Really high
I
JUCO.
like him. Didn't have him, but I like him.
I like him a lot. I got Harlan Beverly as well.
Okay.
I think he's going to get a lot of shots. I don't love Wichita this year. But I think as far as their guards go, there will be shots to be had.
I didn't have a Wichita guy, but if I would have, I think guy I would have picked is Colby Rogers.
Okay. Yeah, from
Um,
Siena.
yeah.
He's pretty good. He just hasn't played in a while, so
Yeah. I mean, he sat it all last year, but
and this
um,
is a big like it's a pretty big move up from the MAC to
yeah.
I don't know, but I think he can do
Yeah.
it. Colby was good at Siena.
He
Uh,
can really shoot. Um,
mm,
let's see. Brandon Johnson from East Carolina is another guy I have on my team. I kind of don't dislike East Carolina this year, so
ECU's I like DCU, man.
Johnson was good last year. So I think he will continue to be good. And the last player on my third team is Vlad Golden, really solid big man for FAU. I mean, I think FAU is going to be so good that if he puts up a respectable like numbers like he did last year, he will be on his all conference team.
So my rounded out my third team, I have Jaquan Walton.
Okay.
I think he'll get some shots from JQ's distributing. He's got upside. Maybe Jones does have a little more volume, so I could probably
Yeah.
see him on there too. So at forward, I have Yaxel Lambdeborg from
Okay.
UAB. He's a big prospect from the JUCO realm. UAB
U-
is a couple.
UAB's JUCO class is
It's
crazy. We'll talk about that in
unbelievable.
a minute, but it is
I was
stacked.
shuffling like their JUCO class like at the bottom of my transfer list because there's too many good ones, so I had to include them.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't include JUCO guys in my transfers, but like they are all like top 10
and then
guys in
my
the
last guy, I
country.
have Jacob Germany as well, who's someone I
Okay.
do like. He's talented, big from UTSA, transferred in conference to Wichita. I think he's gonna have pretty good numbers, I would say.
Yeah. So moving to our top 10 transfers list, I did not include JUCO guys. So for me, this is basically the Memphis show. Um, More or less. Number one, I had Javon Quinterly.
I
Uh,
had Jordan Brown.
okay, I had Jordan Brown too. Did you have Quinterly on here at all?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, out of because overall, I think he's still a very good
Yeah.
transfer. I
Okay.
just don't think he's going to be scoring a lot.
Okay.
So I have Quinterly at two. Um,
Okay. Three, I had David Jones, and
three, I had Jaquan Walton.
okay. Four, I had Chris Youngblood.
Same,
Five, I had Kobe Williams.
same.
And then six, that's where I had Walton.
So I had Jason Edwards at six.
Okay. Seven, I had Caleb Mills. Um,
Seven, I had Jacob Germany.
okay. Again, not a huge Caleb Mills guy, but like he'll be
Yeah.
decent starter. I mean, he's
I left Jones and Mills off. I'm gonna be
okay.
honest. Like maybe they should be better.
I don't like either of those players, but I think the production is just going to be there. I mean, they've been solid enough that
Yeah,
they're not going to be like terrible. Number eight, I had Chuck Harris for
eight out of Harlan
SMU.
Beverly.
Okay. Nine, Bobby Pettiford. I love Bobby Pettiford.
I do too.
Um,
I had Yoxel at nine and Keaton Willis at 10.
okay. Number 10, I had Jonathan Pierre from Memphis, the versatile D2 transfer. Should make an impact off the bench here. So a lot of Memphis for me, but that is what happens when you only have two returning players and they are Ashton Hardaway or not Ashton Hardaway, Jaden Hardaway. Ashton is an incoming freshman and Malcolm Dandridge.
Hey,
So, yeah, definitely a Memphis heavy transfer rankings, and they're just able to get the most talent in the conference. Like they are
they
easily
are.
the best program in terms of support, financial resources, easily the best in conference there. And that showed with the pieces they were able to bring in this offseason. But breakout players, I included a transfer in my first breakout player. That is Colby King for Tulane. I think he could be like really good. Like I'm not saying he's the next Jalen Cook, but like if he does it, I wouldn't be like totally shocked. He was apparently really good in their international tour, and like people kind of hyped him up at St. John's last year, never really live up to that. But I think he's a guy that could have like a really good impact as a starting point guard.
For sure. Yeah, he's somebody I do remember St. John's, and he'll have a bigger role this year. So,
Hmm.
I have Gerald Jones III from USF. He's a guy I like
Okay,
quite
JUCO
a
guy,
bit.
I believe.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
but I see where you're coming because like he's going to get minutes as a at a big man position
yeah, and
because
they lost the guy from Ole Miss
they lost
too.
Maliku Ewan to the JUCO ranks.
Yep. Yeah, he's going back down a level, which I don't hate.
Yes.
Never hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really. I mean, almost you
Maybe
would
he
consider
didn't
that
need
back
it.
down level, but like at the same
Yeah.
time, like he's going back down to go back up. So I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know, but yeah,
And then I had
Jones should.
another South Florida member, Kevin Knox's brother, Kobe Knox.
Okay,
I
from
like him. He's from
VCU.
Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Redshirt sophomore. Think he's going to get some good bench minutes. Although South Florida does have good guards, like they've Placer, Sel Miguel, Chris
Okay.
Youngblood, Stroud, Jennings. I don't know. Maybe he
Yeah.
gets lost in that group, but who knows?
Did you say he was Kevin Knox's brother?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of that, I think he's also Carter Knox's brother, who was like a top 10 player. I think like top 10 player in like 2024.
Okay.
So
That's
I
cool.
know he took a visit there. So that is somewhat significant if they're able to get him. Another guy has Mulai Sissoko, North Texas, is going to be the starting big man. Had some good games in the NIT once Usman was not playing anymore. So I think he could be a guy that could see a big jump there. Like even Usman had a like decently sized jump last season. I think Sissoko, former Dayton transfer, can kind of make an impact in year two with the Mean Green.
So I had Shane Dezzoni from Temple.
Okay.
Originally at Vanderbilt 2 years ago. Original four-star recruit.
Yeah.
I see a lot of guard minutes with at Temple for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. There's a bunch of guards that have potential, but like
Yeah.
who's gonna actually win out the job? Like they've Quante Berry, who I like.
Yeah.
Dave Zion Stanford, who's a freshman. I
Yeah.
just wonder who's gonna get the minutes, and I'd
Yeah.
lean to Zoni. So
Okay. So I did have a Temple player. I had Jordan Riley. I mean, someone's gonna have to break out there.
all right, yeah,
That's so kind of what it comes down to. And I chose Riley. Like, yes, Georgetown was terrible, but he also was a high major recruit. Played some solid
mm-hmm.
minutes. I think he was only a freshman last year,
Yep.
maybe redshirt freshman, but he only played 1 year, so he has some development to go still. Another guy I had was Ezra Ozar at East Carolina. Was really good as a freshman. I think he can still be really good as a sophomore. I mean, he's honestly kind of an asterisk because he's already been so good, but like
He
I
averaged
think
10 a game last
I
year.
think he's just when he was a freshman, I think he's just keep gonna keep going up. My last guy was Corey Walker from South Florida. I think he's in potential to start. Maybe he's the one that starts at the five there for the Bulls. He former four-star recruit, former Tennessee player. Usually Tennessee players that go to mid majors are really good. I guess we'll see if he is as well. But I mean, he definitely has the athleticism to compete. I mean, just better coaching. Now maybe we'll see if that can actually happen.
Yeah, so I had Barry Dunning Jr. from UAB,
Okay.
former four-star. He was at Arkansas last
Yep.
year. Um, he could definitely get some minutes at the three. I think there is some minutes to be had at the three. He's 6'6". He's got good size, so we'll see. I mean, there's just so many good players in this team.
Mm,
Um,
yes.
and then I have the guy from Ole Miss as well. James White. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he'll be pretty high on the pecking order.
Hmm.
I might have one more. Oh yeah, I have Isaiah Folks from Charlotte. He's
Okay.
somebody I do like.
I believe he
Um,
was a guy I was like kind of on the fence about putting on. So
yeah,
I like to pick.
and then Aaron Scott, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So moving to our all freshman team, Memphis, they do have the best freshman group in the conference, even without Mikey Williams, and they also have like a bunch of other guys decommit. But I don't know if all of them are going to get minutes right away. So I
Exactly.
only included one Memphis guy on there. That is Carl Sharonfont. I think he's honestly the best position to make an impact right away. Really good on both sides of the ball. I think he is a guy that will see him into his freshman year. Whereas I'm not so sold on like JJ Taylor's impact right away. I think Ashton Hardaway can be okay right away, but like the minutes, I don't know. I just trust Sharon Font to get more of those minutes.
So I have Gabe Warren from Rice,
Okay.
4-star recruit.
I think Keanu Dawes is a better Rice freshman.
Okay. Yeah, the minutes will be there though. They have Evie, and then their guards are a bit. So I think he's 6'6". He could also play at the three, if they need him to. So I think some minutes will be there. I have Chauncey Gibson from
Yep.
Tulsa as
I had him
well.
as well.
Um, they have actually a really good freshman class, which I was not expecting.
Yeah. Like
Um,
Matt Reed was a
Matt
big
Reed,
man.
I
I didn't
originally
have
had
him.
on here, but I
I
took him
was
off.
I was considering him, but yeah. Um
And I have KJ Sattersfield from UAB as well.
okay.
I think there's some minutes at the three spot. Again, we'll see who gets them, but probably not going to play a lot.
Yeah, so I had Dawes from Rice. I think he's going to be the better freshman, although both are really good recruits. Dawes a little higher ranked. I think he's in position to get some more minutes right away. I think there are some minutes available, like the forward position. So I think he will get those. Another guy I had is Sir Malonga from East Carolina, big man that is. I
Same
think
here.
he's
Um,
yes. I think
so
he
I took
should.
off the guy from Tulsa for.
Okay. Yeah, he should get some in right away. But yeah, Chauncey Gibson was a guy I liked in high school. Can score the ball. So I think he should have an impact, obviously, as a year development in Clemson. So yeah. And my
I
last
have
guy,
for my last member, I have Rich Rolfe from Charlotte.
okay.
He played at Centerville with Gabe Cups
Yeah.
and all that. But I think there's some minutes at the four at Charlotte next to Deshaun. So
Yes. My last guy is Jaden Reed. I am a big Jaden Reed guy from South Florida. He's their point guard. I think he's going to end up being their starting point guard. Honestly, he is going to be a really good college basketball player. He is really quick. Can really pass the ball. Um, can score a little bit. I mean, he's undersized, so he's not going to be like a huge high
yeah.
major project, but he is going to be really good. High majors are going to regret not jumping on him, and I think he could be like a really good impact guy right away as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He can really impact a game really quick. So I'm a big Jaden Reed guy.
Yeah, I did see him.
But yeah, yeah. For any Memphis fans, like they have the best freshman in the conference. The minutes just aren't there. Like I'd rather have like JJ Taylor than like Keanu Dawes probably, but maybe I don't know about JJ Taylor though. Actually, I don't like anyone from Donde Academy. I'd rather have Ashton Hardaway though, but the minutes might not be there.
I agree.
Yes. So moving on to our individual team reviews, starting with UTSA, we're just gonna go with the Conference USA teams first. Yeah, this is a team. I'm not really sure what to think about it. We both had them last, I would assume.
Oh yeah, they're locked for last.
Yeah. Their coach probably isn't going to last much longer. They were bad in Conference USA. Um,
They're basement every year.
they got some good transfers. They got Adante Holyman, who I think could be pretty good. He can score the ball from UT Rio Grande Valley, decent passer. They got a boomerang, the Marfo transfer in Jordan Ivy Curry.
Carlton Lingard as well.
Yes, he is going to be eligible this year. Was played a little bit at K State, not a ton, but when he was there, they got Dre Fuller from UCF 2 years ago. I remember he committed to FAU last offseason, just like never showed up there. But now he's resurfacing in the same conference as FAU. Um, they have Justin Thomas. Don't think he'll be eligible. They got a JUCO guy, Blessing Adesipe, who could be pretty good. Isaiah
Mhm.
Wyatt from Chadron State has the potential. Nizar Mahmood should be a decently impactful freshman right away. But overall, like the talent of this team is just not on par with the other teams in the conference. I'm not sure the coaching is either. I think
I don't think
with
he's any
with
good.
no disrespect intended towards Steve Henson, I think his career was kind of made by those like Javon Jackson, Keaton Wallace, who were just like scored a lot of points and like kind of made them okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think his days
Far
are
from his
ended.
glory days. Yeah.
I mean, and they lost their good players too, like Jacob Germany. Obviously, is at Wichita now. Defet Medor is at Fordham. Like John Buggs also transferred in conference. He's at North Texas now. Like
So
DJ Richards, really good freshman. Went to McNeese. So yeah, they just lost a lot of players, and I
mhm.
don't. And they were bad last year, and they probably got worse. Um. So yeah, next team is Rice. I have the Owls sitting at 10th.
Yeah, I got them pretty low. I got them at 11. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't dislike the talent on this roster. I also
No.
not sure if they can really do much with the talent. Like, I mean, they have fun offenses. They have terrible defenses.
You
Um,
know what you're getting from Rice.
yeah, they at least have talent. They're gonna be something to watch. Like, it's better than nothing. Um, So, but yeah, I mean, they have the good freshmen, Keanu Dawes, Gabe Warren. They have some good returning players. Travis Evie is really good. Max
Yeah.
Fiedler is obviously really good. Makai Mason's okay. Sam Alajiki, whatever, from Cal. I mean, Cal was terrible. He could provide some solid athleticism at the four.
They got what's his name from Vandy? Noah
Noah
Shelby.
Shelby. I think he could be decent. He's a really good shooter.
He is. He is.
Um, the scouting report on him is that he doesn't play defense and shoots the ball, which that's
I'm
kind of
about
what
to say
Quincy
it
Olivari
fits.
did. So
It fits right in, man. Like,
yes, um, yeah, this team is going to be bad defensively. Anthony Selden from Gardner Webb is another solid transfer they brought in, but overall, like, yeah, you kind of know what you're getting from
they're a really
Rice.
talented conference. They do have talent here, but I mean,
Yeah,
you know what you're gonna get from Sky Para. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be a really one-dimensional team.
yeah. Rice is a school that can really recruit though. Like,
They can. They always have talent. Like they showed flashes early on last year that they were gonna be really good, and then it just completely fell apart. Like
yeah,
they were
yeah.
decent in non-con, but by
Rem-
conference play, it was a miss.
Remember when they had Trey Murphy and Drew Peterson in the same year?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? I mean, I don't
No,
remember that happening, but
that was
I
before my
know of it.
time.
I didn't watch Rice that year, but like I remember like them both transferring, and now Trey Murphy's an NBA. Drew Peterson was like all conference guy at USC. So
Mm,
yeah, that's the kind of stuff they do at Rice. But yeah, next up, Charlotte, another team that I don't have a ton to say about. They won the CBI. They also lost Ali Cleef and Bryce Williams, who were their main star players. Um, Lukai Patterson is a solid returning point
I do
guard.
like.
Deshaun Jackson, if he's healthy, which I don't know if he is,
Yeah, I never know with
he'll be
Deshaun.
solid. Igor Milicic was okay for them last year. Like Threadgill folks are okay.
I got
Dean
them 10th.
Reaver,
Yeah.
yeah, I forget they were ahead of him. I think I have them 12th.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I just think they still have a good coaching staff, I would assume. Like they had
yeah, I
something
mean,
good
they're
going
not going to be
last
any worse
year.
coaching staff.
Right.
But I also just like not super into talent. Like they
Yeah,
lost
that's
their
true.
two good players and they didn't really bring in as much. Yaroslav Niagu is a guy to just watch out for. Maybe he goes is solid coming from USC. Yeah, Dean Reaver from Rutgers. Um, Robert Braswell, former high major guy as
Oh,
well.
well.
Um, just
No.
some what?
Threadgill's all right. I remember Braswell at Syracuse.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's fine.
goodness, he was bad there. But yeah, Threadgill's all right. Rich Roll
Yeah,
for solid.
yeah. He
I
was a
like
redshirt
Folks.
freshman. I didn't realize that. So yeah, he could be better.
Yeah,
Um,
I like Folks.
yeah. I mean, again, not a ton to say. Lukai Patterson, this guy I do like. I mean, Charlotte was a really good defensive team last year. Played at a slow pace. That was kind of, I mean, kind of Tony Bennett tree working its way down.
Yeah.
but I also don't have those guys who can just flat out get buckets like Bryce Williams was able to. Khalifa was so skilled as a big man, and Deshaun Jackson doesn't bring you those same things. Like he's a really good, will really fight down low, but like Khalifa is just so skilled, can stretch the floor, can pass.
Mhm.
That's not what we're getting this year, but yeah, I mean, maybe there's still some intrigue. Decent amount of former high major guys in this
It's
team,
those
so
guards, the red shirts, and guys like that that might give them
yeah,
something. That's where my excitement lies. But
yeah.
who
So
knows?
so not super in on Charlotte this year. Next team UAB. I am in on UAB. I have them third in the conference.
Mhm.
Um,
I had him fourth. Man.
okay. I love the talent they have here. Eric Gaines really good returner, but they have three really good junior college prospects. They have Alejandro Vasquez from Salt Lake Community College, formerly played St. Bonaventure, can really score the ball, was really good at Salt Lake, which churns out D1 guys. Yash
Hmm.
Lendabor from Arizona Western, double machine, super athletic, forward, big man. Another guy should make an impact right away. And then Chris Coleman is the final guy. Another solid athlete, solid forward that should make an impact right away. They also got Marquise Hargrove from Arizona Western, who's probably more of a deep bench rotation player. But those three at the top, they're going to be really good. They obviously UAB likes to get high major transfers too. James White could have been good at Ole Miss if he had stayed, honestly. Barry Dunning and Will Shaver didn't play much at their high major schools. Um, like Daniel Ortiz from North Alabama can really shoot it. Like this is a talented team. They lost a ton, but like they have Javian Davis back.
Hmm.
Um, Tony is back. So is Butta Johnson.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think about this team?
No, I think they're really deep. I just like the reason I don't have them over Tulane is like Tulane is those returning guys that
Yeah.
were really consistent. Like Forbes is a really consistent number one option. Is Gaines going to be that? Like I don't know. They have more talent than Tulane, but like yeah, I think
Yeah.
the top end number one option is where I give Tulane a pretty big edge, honestly. So
Yes. I think Vasquez might be number one option.
yeah, again, those JUCO guys. I mean, the shot distribution is going to be something to look out for. Like, who's going to get the
Yes.
most shots?
It's so deep too. Like I have Ortiz as my like eighth man in my rotation,
Yeah,
but he could be really good at the same time.
right. I
Um,
mean, he was good at North Alabama.
hmm So yeah. They lost a lot. This is what Andy Kennedy does. He's replenishes talent. That's why he's been really good at UAB so far. And I think that will kind of keep up. Really like the JUCO guys they brought in. So yeah, I am in on this team. I don't think they will be like that much worse, even though it's a completely new team.
Probably
I
not.
think
I don't think so.
still like them. But next team, North Texas, I had them at fourth. I kind of like this team.
I have them at fifth. Yeah. No, I see the intrigue with this team for
Okay.
sure.
I mean, I don't think Ross Hodge is like a super fall off from McCasland, honestly. I mean, he's been the
He's
associate
probably some of the
coach.
brains behind the operation. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
the assistants usually are on a staff like that.
Yes. And I like the roster too. Like
Yeah, it's a good roster.
Jason Edwards could really score the ball at JUCO. Not saying he's next Tyler Perry, but he has some aspects of the game that are similar. Um, really scoring focused point guard. Aaron Scott, breakout player. Ruben Jones, he's a solid point guard, really good defensive option. I mean, everyone in North Texas is a good defensive option, but
Yeah.
he is especially elite on defense. I mean, he definitely kind of was the best defense player in the backcourt. Tyler Perry was okay, but like he was just kind of more like okay because of the system. Ruben Jones is actually like a really good defender.
Hmm. And he's more of a physical build. Yeah.
Yes. Speaking about physical build, CJ Nolan is also a
Yeah.
big bodied
Oklahoma
guard.
transfer.
Was showed some flash to Oklahoma. Sissoko I like. Robert Allen I really like. John Buggs can really shoot it.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of intrigue here, I think, even though it's another team that loses a lot. And yeah, they lose their three leading scorers last year, Perry, Huntsbury, and Usman. But yeah, I think there's still a lot of intrigue in the guys they have left.
Yeah, I think they probably got a bit deeper than they were last year. Depth for them last year is definitely a problem. So, like, it's glad that they aren't relying on like a couple guys for so much production this year. So,
Yes. Yeah, I really do like the front court trio of Scott, Sissoko, and Allen. Two of those
mhm.
guys will start probably. Maybe Allen could start honestly. Like this will be a really good team. I don't think they'll like super tank off because of Mikhail not being there. Like I think this will still be very competitive. Still have really good defense, and I guess we'll see what the offense brings. I think Edwards will be a huge catalyst of that.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely a team I am still in on. Um, very very slow paced team, but yeah, very very slow paced team. Like he's always in the country.
Yeah,
But that
always.
is what McCaslin did. He was winning. So
Mhm.
um yeah. Next team is Florida Atlantic. I have them at one.
I've heard some rumblings about this DeAndre Williams situation, so I actually have them at two if this goes through. I gotta see it. If that waiver doesn't go through, I'll have FAU one.
So
Um,
you have them one right now. If he does get his year of eligibility back, you'll move him to two. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
fair.
there is reason that he might or I don't know. Memphis is getting pretty desperate apparently, which that's
Yeah.
always going to be something. But I think the fit with him and Jordan Brown can actually work.
Yeah, I think it could
DeAndre
is too.
Williams is a good shooter. He can play on the perimeter. You can put
Yeah.
Jordan Brown on the low
He's a
post,
winning player.
and
But
that too.
back to FAU.
Okay,
We can talk about the DeAndre Williams situation when we get to Memphis, but
for sure.
that's a fair placement. I think I would still have FAU first either way, but it would be a lot closer. Would Williams get a year of eligibility back? But yeah, FAU. I mean, what else is there to say about them? They made the Final Four. They were legit last year, won 35 games, and returned their core. Everyone except for Michael Forrest is returning. Um, and he was even like not as great last year as he had been in previous
His
years.
guys broke out and kind of took some of his
Um,
shots, and
yeah,
they saw some of that last year.
yes,
Love John L. Davis, love
yes.
Elijah Martin.
Obviously, Davis and Martin are two super intrigue guys. Could have NBA futures. Both provide some versatility on the wing. Both can kind of play the forward, but also skilled guards. So I think those are two star players. Very similar stats, very similar games. I personally lean Davis slightly as a better player,
Yeah.
but
I think
Martin's
both
right
of
there.
them are some of the best players of their position in the country. I think they're really high up there for
I
me.
agree with that. I've heard a lot of Nick Boyd hype this offseason. It was good last year after being hurt the past full year before that. So still has 3 years
Boyd,
of
I like.
eligibility left. So
Mm,
and he's been in the program for 3 years already.
him
So
and him and Weatherspoon are definitely the next batch of
yes,
scorers that
yes.
they have.
Weatherspoon's kind of old though.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He was a JUCO guy.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's a brother of those Weatherspoon guys on Mississippi State. Remember those
Oh
guys?
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
love Giancarlo Rosado. I think he's
I
like the
do as
most
well.
underrated player on this team. Like
He's a very skilled big.
I'd low key, I would take him over Vlad Golden because of
Mm,
his versatility on defense. He can guard like smaller guys too.
I think Golden's definitely a better defensive player, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he can rim protect, but Rosado has some skills, and he's definitely got some real
Yeah.
offensive skills. He can kind of stretch it a little. He can drive. He's good in the post. He's really strong. I mean, he showed off his offensive game a lot in that tourney run last year. He played some huge minutes. I think he's their
Yeah.
glue guy and one of their most important pieces.
Yeah. I mean, I like Golden more because just what the, I mean, I really like Rosado, but I just like Golden what he brings for a big man. Like, I mean, does what you want out of a big man. Like,
I don't hate him.
he's huge, really good rebounder, good rim protector, it fits from inside. Like, he gives you everything you need there. But at the same
Yeah.
time, Rosado, really skilled, very skilled for a big man there. Can kind of pass the ball a little bit, like you
Hmm.
said. Can't really stretch the floor, but also at the same time has a little bit of a mid-range game.
Yeah.
Um, can score like outside of just the rim itself. Yeah. Really efficient, very finesse big man. As opposed to Golden, just more of a strong body down low. Also a decent rim protector. So yeah, I like him. Brian Greenlee, good returning point guard.
Mhm.
Him and Nick Boyd kind of share the point guard duties.
Gaffney as
Gaffney's
well.
another
He's
bench
all
guy.
right. Uh,
Um, I think Gaffney could be better in year two coming over from UConn.
I
A lot
agree.
of like the year two transfer breakout, I feel like is a common thing. So
Hmm.
I think maybe you could get that. Two guys I am looking for if FAU decides to potentially go back to a 9-man rotation, even though having the only 8 star players, 8 rotation players returning. Um, are Trey Carroll and Devin Vanderpool. Trey
Yeah,
Carroll was a decently ranked recruit. He was there last year. Was okay when he played, didn't play a ton. Vanderpool is a guy that, I mean, I know you know more about him
he's a
than,
real
but
shot creator. He's very lanky. Yeah, he gives you a lot of length at the wing. He's from Christ the King, I believe. Really good shot creator. He's the exact kind of player FAU really features. They love their shot creating scorers. I hope there's some minutes for him this year, but we'll see.
um, yeah. So we will see. Some other guys today: Gaines, Brandon Laurent, Jaquel Powell, are final members of the team. But yeah, overall, this team is just so solid all around. Like, I mean, I think they're good. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to go back to the Final Four, but like,
If there's a mid major to ever replicate it, like could definitely be them.
yeah, like,
But I won't have them that far.
no, I mean, it's unlikely they make it back there, but at the same time, they have what it takes to make it back there. Like, the Final Four is just so, like, I mean,
Draw based and
yeah, so
yes.
like March is just crazy like that. But yeah, they could be, they're legit. They are very good. I think I had like top 15 nationally. Some people are overrating them. A lot of people are underrating them. They're still very good. I mean, they run back a team that finished 17th in Ken Palm
Yeah,
last
I'd have
year.
them like 15 or so. Like that's
Yeah,
about
that's close to where I had them too. Still gonna be very good. Uh, Regardless of what happens with Memphis, those games are gonna be fun to watch
right. That's
because
for
the
sure.
last game of the season, Memphis at FAU, they play a few games before that at Memphis. So yeah. But next team, SMU, the Mustangs, I have them at sixth.
I have them at I believe they might have a ninth.
Okay.
I just
I like the
dislike their
talent.
coach a lot. Like, yeah.
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge Rob Lanier guy personally, but like I feel like the reviews is obviously coming out where like he was like he's actually building something there and like but I don't know.
There's just like
Mm,
I don't know. There's other coaches in the conference I like more, and
yeah, I mean I'm
the
not a huge
roster might
this
be a little
roster's
more
good though.
talented. Yeah. Um, the roster,
Like
of course, is talented. I mean, it's always the case with SMU. But
um
you just got to see winning basketball.
yeah, that's the thing that held me back because this team could be higher even in six, based on the pure talent they have. I mean, Phillips is really good. Chuck
Yeah.
Harris, I mean, you can say what you want about Chuck Harris, but he was a solid starter on a for 3 years in a high major team.
Hmm.
At minimum, that's what you're getting. BJ Edwards, from Tennessee, just didn't play at Tennessee. And he was a freshman, so I think he still has a lot of intrigue there. I think he's even a redshirt freshman. He might have got his year
He's a
completely back.
sophomore, it says here.
Let me see. I had looks like he's listed as a redshirt freshman. Some places I don't.
It's SMU's website, but
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't know if he got like hurt because he would have to have a medical record since he played last year,
hmm.
but I'm not exactly sure. But either way, he should be a player to watch over the next few years. Denver England, another kind of situation. Supposedly a really good shooter. Did not show it at Georgetown, but he could light it up in high school.
Hmm. he probably is definitely in for a better year.
Yes. Still a coaching upgrade, regardless of what we think of Lanier. That's a big coaching upgrade for England.
For sure.
Um, Samuel Williamson. He's a very solid player. I mean,
Yeah, I hope he's
never
a
really
better
lived
year
up.
this year. He didn't play amazing
Yeah,
last
he
year.
he
He
was
let me down.
disappointing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with that. Tyreek Smith was good at Oklahoma State.
he
Good
was.
athletic big. Jaheim Hudson, another big man off the bench, coming over from Georgia State, where Lanier had previously coached. Jalen Smith off the bench.
Mona
Ken
Jai is
Ambrose,
also who played with Gabe Cupps as well.
Moji, yeah,
Yeah.
Mo Ng, yeah. Yeah, he is not gonna play, but maybe
Jaheim
not.
Hudson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emery Lanier, uh, Rob Lanier's son, Ricardo Wright. But yeah, the high major talent like is evident because of the stars in this team that I projected. Four of them are former high major guys, and the one that isn't is Phelps, who could have been a former high major guy if he wanted
Right.
to.
Mhm.
So there's lots of talent on this roster. But they were bad last year with talent. Like they're a little more talented this year, but like they still had like Zach Nettle, FAODZ, like Jefferson Koulibaly, people like Stefan Todorovic showed
They showed
flashes.
such
Like,
flashes too. You remember that tournament up in Hawaii where they
hmm
looked really good. And they
yeah.
just completely fell apart after that.
I think there's a ton of intrigue here, though, at the very least.
There is.
So, yeah, this
SMU
could,
can recruit. They've recruited well the last
yeah.
couple of
I
years.
think they got like a 4-star in the 2024 class too.
Yeah, I've been hearing they've been landing a lot of guys. So
Yes. Next up is East Carolina. I have them right behind SMU at 7th.
I have them sixth. I like ECU a lot.
I like this team. Regardless if Cam Hayes gets a waiver or not. Like I don't, it doesn't really change my impact on them,
Um,
honestly. Uh,
Pettiford.
I like Pettiford.
He is.
I think he was really good at Kansas when he played.
He
Like
was. He was
I
active
am a
on
big Bobby
defense.
Pettiford guy.
Yeah, same. He's a high
Um,
impact guy. They got
I think
Ezra
he'll,
Osser, who's
yeah.
great.
Brandon Johnson, RJ Fell, another double-digit scorer, turning on a wing.
Mm,
Jaden Walker, versatile guard. There, Quentin DeBunje, former
hmm
Tennessee player, showed some flashes last year. Also returns. Like you have Sir Malonga, big man, incoming freshman. So like, this team has some talent. I
They
mean,
have
it's
a Takori Fison as well. Pretty good freshman. Mm,
okay. I don't know a ton about him.
24 and 12. Yeah,
Yeah,
6'5".
every guy you like in high school puts up numbers like that though. That's good enough to go to this
Yeah,
level.
they were a good team too. 28-3.
Okay.
It's from North
Um,
Carolina.
yeah, I don't know a ton about him, but I don't know if he'll get min right away. But yeah, like they returned a lot of pieces from a team that showed some real flashes last year with more of a development. Year two for Michael Schwartz as well.
Mhm.
I think that this team could take a real jump. Um, yeah. Anything else on
No, I think it's pretty much
Pirates?
everything. No, I do like them this year. They're definitely one of the teams I'm higher on. So
Yeah. Wasn't wasn't Schwartz like the defensive guy on Tennessee? I want to say he was like the defensive like weapon there. I mean, ECU had a decent defense last year. I guess we'll see
yeah,
if
they
that
did. They
like
were really athletic. They were
yes.
physical. I remember
Yes.
against Houston, they really clamped them up that one game. Houston
Yes.
really struggled that game, but they scrapped it out. ECU showed some promise last year. I definitely think there's a lot of room for them to grow.
I think Ozark could definitely like really break out
Oh
into
yeah,
all conference potential. I mean,
for
he was
sure.
playing really good at the end of the year.
hmm
Um, but yeah. Next team, South Florida. I have the Bulls sitting at 8th, right behind those two teams.
I got them seventh. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I love Amir Abdur-Rahim. This roster is okay.
Yeah, they're at the front court is where you have your questions. The guards are good
Yeah.
though. I like the guards.
Yeah.
Jose Placer is somebody I really like.
Players decent. Selton
Um,
Miguel's was solid last year
Dellen
there.
came on when at the end of last
Youngblood,
year. Yeah.
Youngblood, Casey Jennings, a solid player. You got He gets back
Stroud.
from Kennesaw State. Yeah,
Mhm.
Stroud should play in the front court. Really good player there as well. Jaden Reed, obviously, I am fully in on Jaden Reed.
Mhm.
I think Jaden Reed will be better than Placer, honestly, like as a better point guard, at least.
Okay.
Like I think Jaden Reed is the point guard of the future for this team,
Yeah,
and
oh,
the
for
point guard
sure.
at present too.
Mhm.
Kobe Knox, Kayshawn Pryor is a guy that is really intriguing to me personally.
Yeah,
He didn't play at Boise, then he went to JUCO ranks. He has some insane skills.
he does. It
Like
seems that way.
he is very skilled. I don't know if he's gonna how that's gonna translate because he didn't get minutes at Boise when he played there, but like
Boise had a
I
good
don't.
front court those years, though, too.
But yeah, like
He
he
made the
didn't
Bays
play
a
like
big.
at all. Like if he was really that good, like you would have thought he would have played. But like same
Yeah,
time, you look at like what he did in JUCO. Like I even think they might have won like the national championship. And
he
he
averaged like
was a
15 a game for
yeah.
them,
I mean
too.
he was a first team JUCO All American. Um, so I see a lot of injury with Pryor. Sam Hines, returning player. You kind of get what you get out of him. Corey Walker, breakout candidate, I think. So yeah, I kind of like this team. From a smaller level, like I'm not like super in this team, but Abdur Rahim is definitely building something here.
For sure.
Yeah. Next team, Wichita State. I have them sitting at ninth. All those teams in a row.
I got them at 8. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I don't love this team honestly.
Mm,
Paul Mills will get there. This is not the year that he gets there.
No. Yeah. They have some good pieces in the front court. I don't hate their front court at all. It's the back
I
court.
don't know if DeGray will be eligible though.
Germany, you mean?
DeGray.
Oh, well,
I
I mean,
don't know about his
the
eligibility.
Grace. Oh, let's be on the
He's
Grace.
good. He's good. He was good at Mizzou 2 years ago. He
He
was good.
wasn't
I mean
last year.
that he wasn't bad. He just didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he didn't play. He's
Yeah, I mean you can say that,
okay,
but
I
he
guess.
was good at UMass. Like he's a
He
good
was
player
good
for
at
Wichita State.
UMass. Yeah,
Um,
yes.
Poto is intriguing as well.
Yeah, I like Poto more.
Um,
Definitely.
Sort of a skilled big. Germany, obviously good mid-range inside scorer there. Um, Another big guy they got, another front court member is Dalen Bridgenall, who they got late from Missouri State,
Yeah.
in the portal. So it's a solid
Yeah,
big guy
front court group
there.
I don't hate at all.
It's fine, and I don't hate the backcourt either. Like Bijan
Xavier Bell
Cortez,
is
like
interesting. I don't
people
know.
have been hyping up. He was bad last year, but like people have been
Yeah,
hyping him up. I'm gonna see what we get from him before making any
very
decision that
same.
he's not gonna be
I'm
good.
very sussed about him.
Yes.
Colby Rogers, I do think will translate pretty well.
Yes, I think he's going to be their best player. Honestly, like I think he's the guy you're trusting to be like the good offensive
It seems that way. Yeah.
scorer. Like people are really high on him. He can really shoot. Was a good player at Siena. I think with a year off, already a year of training. I mean, obviously not in the same coach, but like he's been just working for a year. I think that could really
And they got Beverly and
be good.
the MVP of the team, Bihan Cortez.
Jean Cortez has some interesting hair. Yeah, he was okay to Oklahoma. Decent enough point guard to play in Wichita.
He was their
Um,
glue guy. He played defense, but
yeah.
offensively, it just doesn't do a whole lot.
That was kind of the same with Beverly.
Mm,
Honestly, he showed some flashes of scoring earlier in his career. Wasn't like a big scorer last year, but
mm,
he might need to be a big scorer this year. Like Isaac Abidi, Quincy Ballard, some returning guys didn't see a ton of minutes. They have some freshmen like Giannis Bamba, Joey Igavoja. Yeah, I don't know. They're another team that like they lost their good players from last year. Like Craig Porter was really good.
he wasn't.
Walton was really good. John Pierre was inefficient, but he still scored. James Rojas was decent. Like they lost all those guys. Like they just didn't bring the talent to replace
No,
them. But like I'm still in on Paul Mills. Like Wichita will be good at Wichita. We need Wichita being good at basketball again. Like I need it. I need to see
their
Wichita.
fan base is very passionate, and they'll
College
travel.
basketball is so much better than Wichita State is good.
That is true. That is true.
And yeah, it's
It's just gonna be
the
hard to get talent in the building there. It'll take them some time.
I don't
But
think it'll take that much time. I mean, they already got two like top 150 guys in 2024. I
yeah,
mean, it obviously won't be like right away, but like I think he's building.
They
He's
just can't,
building.
create it in year one, clearly, because there are teams who are able to do that, and coaches in year one who are able to do
Hmm.
that, but it's
Yes.
not for every school.
I don't know personally what the NIL situation is like there, but it seems like that would be a school that would have some money that would
Right, you
they
would
want to throw
think,
around the basketball program.
for sure. I mean, where else are they going to use it?
Yeah, I mean, not much else to do in Wichita.
Right. Do they even have a football team?
Nah, they used to like back in the day.
I'm about to
That's
say so.
that is not around anymore. But yeah, Paul Mills will get there. It's so fun to see Wichita good. But yeah, Temple next team. Yeah, this team will not be good this year. I have them 13th.
Same, yeah.
This roster is bad. Good thing UTSA is in the conference because this team is like Hyzier Miller's solid, but like besides that, like
Right, right.
Steve Settle. I mean, I like
I
Steve
like
Settle at
I like
Howard.
Steve Settle,
He's
yeah, but
gonna he's
you
like
know, it's a
Steve
big jump.
Settle. Steve Settle is like the 6'9", 100-pound guy.
The really laughable transfer, and I'll admit, is Matteo Picarelli from
He can shoot
UMBC.
though. He can shoot. That's
Again,
about all he can do. He can shoot. Like
that's what he's
I
there
think it's worth
for.
a take.
For sure. For it is
He can shoot. He
he was
can
not on
shoot.
my bingo card. We'll just put it that way.
I think
Yeah,
there are
I
worse
think there's
guys you can take.
true. Quante Berry, I do like. I think he will
Yeah.
have a pretty good season. Dezzoni.
Redshirt from Providence, I
Yep.
believe. Yeah.
AK Fila, I think is a pretty good prospect.
Let's see. Who?
Never mind. Never mind. I was
You
confused.
listening off walk-ons again?
That's my national pastime, man. Um, Heiser, I don't really like Heiser Miller, but we'll see.
Might be the best player on this team.
It was very disappointing. I had a lot of hype for him out of high school, but
Yeah.
he's still pretty good and can definitely get better. They have Emmanuel Okpomo. He's from USC, isn't he?
No, he's from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they do love their Vanderbilt transfers.
Is
He's from
he?
Wake Forest,
Wake
actually.
Forest. I get Wake Forest and Vanderbilt mixed up, honestly.
I do too. The
Like,
colors, yeah.
like they're the same thing. But yeah,
Jordan
Pizzarelli
Riley.
shot the ball well at UMBC. Like he shot nearly 40% from three on like 66 makes. Like
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like your
Deuce Roberts is another pretty good redshirt freshman. He's one of their better ones.
I mean,
16 and 6.
Taj
He'll be,
Thweatt
yeah,
is back after
Hodges.
redshirting last year. Sam Hoffman, they added that guy from Houston Christian late. I mean, yeah, he's a
It's
big
just an
guy. He
intriguing
can shoot
group
a
of
little bit.
players. I don't know.
It's just a bad group of players. Jalil
Yeah,
White is
it's
solid,
just,
solid glue guy, but
it's an
it's
interesting
just
combination. Like I just
this
wouldn't
is not a good
It's a
roster.
lot of like scattered forwards and like random guards. Yeah,
Like, who's going to
it's
be the best
mismatch.
player? Is Hyzier Miller the best player on this team?
I don't think so,
Who
but that's
is?
just me.
Who is?
I think it can be Quante Berry or Dezzoni, honestly. Um,
Quante Berry. Like, I will say that, like, Quante Berry, like, you have some stuff to work with there. But, like,
for
Miller was
sure.
decent last
Maybe it's
year.
Jordan Riley, shoot, like you said, but
No.
I don't think so. I mean, like he wasn't
He
good at
wasn't good.
Georgetown.
Like,
Like,
Miller was at least respectable last year.
yeah, he was the point guard. Him and Jaleel White, who's not even there anymore. I don't think.
He's,
I don't see him on my roster.
let
Let me see.
me, I'm pretty sure he's there. Unless
This
he
is the
just, like,
very
randomly
end.
decided to dip.
Yeah, okay, he's the last guy on the roster on my little page here.
Yeah, I mean he's an
He's all
okay
right.
glue guy. He's a good rebounder. Um,
Mhm.
not a super efficient guy. He cannot shoot at all. But
No,
yeah,
certainly a
yeah,
roster. Um, yeah, the thing with Temple is NIL. Like,
yeah.
they're getting better with NIL, but they're like still not where they need to be.
They're pretty bad,
Yeah.
which is
Uh,
surprising. Like I feel like they would be a program that would be kind of decent.
hmm Yeah, they're struggling that department of football too. Football, they're really hurting.
Yeah,
Um, they play at the link, and there's probably like 10 fans there. Like, it's bad.
yeah,
But yeah, that's Temple for you.
yeah.
That's Tulsa's next, right?
Yes, I forgot to put in my list, but I just did remember that, so I was gonna say next. Anyway, I have them 11th.
Mm. I have Tulsa 7. I don't hate them at all.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate them, but they were so bad last year. I mean, I'm
They
not saying
were.
they're gonna be bad again, but um Williams and Willis, Louisiana Tech backcourt should be decent. You have some other pieces to work with. PJ Haggerty from TCU played a little bit there. Chauncey Gibson, um, Carlos Williams could be decent coming over from Pearl River.
Mhm.
Skilled forward there. Isaiah Barnes, maybe you get something out of him. Jared Garcia, solid transfer from Salt Lake Community College. You have Matt Reed, Jared Hall, the true freshman that should be good. Josiah McWright's a guy I don't hate as a rising sophomore. Mohammed Keita from St. John's. It's worth a shot, I guess. But yeah,
Mhm. I just like
I'm
this backcourt a lot. I watched Louisiana Tech a bit. Keyston Willis has ability. You didn't really probably fully see it because Louisiana Tech had a lot of scores around him.
well, I like it a lot better than Sam Griffin and Anthony
Yeah,
Pritchard.
yeah, that's for sure. I think anything's a step up from there.
Yeah.
But no, I think Keaton can actually break out even a little bit more here with more of a scoring role this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him a lot. And then you have Jacoby Williams, who's a very talented shot creator.
Good
So
defensive player as well.
mhm. um, and then yeah, they have really quality freshmen, they have some quality transfers. Um,
Jucos.
I this coach is pretty young, so I
Yeah,
don't think the
I mean,
jury's
Congo's
out.
coming from Louisiana Tech, so that's why he's got those. I mean, he came
Right.
from there 2 years ago.
And he did
Um,
pretty good there, it seems. They just had a rough year last year. I think it was more
yeah,
of on the players. Like Griffin's not good, and yeah, the Wyoming will have to.
he
Cott is
could
going
he
to
could
outplay
be
him.
Griffin could be good as an off-ball guard, though, which is what he's
That's
gonna be
true.
there. He's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's true.
more of like a little bit of a passer.
When
Um,
he's not the primary shot creator is when I don't
yeah.
hit.
Um,
Um,
the good thing about his team is they only returned 8.68% of minutes from last year, which is a good thing because
mm,
everyone they had last year was, except for Celebangi. Celebangi was good.
the one guy transferred the Monmouth, the
Uh,
Ukrainian big.
Nikita Konstantinovsky. Yeah,
I didn't hate him.
he wasn't even good at Tulsa, but um, he has some size, some intrigue in the from Monmouth. But yeah, Celebangi was good.
Hmm.
Can we at least sit on that? Like
Yeah,
I liked him. Good, really good rebounder. He was their only like good player on both sides of the ball last year. The only good player on either side of the ball, honestly. um, so I think Arizona State got a good one with him. Everyone
yeah.
else was kind of
I
bad
think
though.
didn't Arizona State blow this team out, or no? Oregon State blew this
Everyone
team
blew his
out.
team out. Or wait,
The
okay.
Beavers did.
Um,
I
let me.
remember the game. Oh yeah, they beat them
They
bad.
yeah. They did blow out Loyola Chicago though. Oregon State beat him by 3 though. But I mean,
Yeah.
um, they also beat Tulane. That was and then they didn't win a game after January 21st. But
Hey,
that was Loyola Chicago last year. They also blew out Clemson. Loyola
hail of
Chicago
two
did, and they
teams.
lost to Tulsa by 20. They were bad. They'll be good this year though. We'll talk about that in a few weeks. But yeah, not much else to say more about Tulsa, but they're moving in the right direction this year. Is going to be a lot better than last.
Mm.
Still might not be great though. Next team Tulane. I have Tulane at fifth.
I got
Fifth
them
through
at
third was
3.
close. I
Yeah.
respect that. Forbes really good. Cross really good. Sion James really good defensive glue guy piece. Um, Colby King breakout candidate. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like those pieces.
Yeah, I'm a bit high on Ron Hunter this year, which I
I love
regret.
Ron Hunter. He's a fantastic coach.
I mean,
Everywhere he's gone, they just get so much better.
yeah, I mean, just
He's a good coach.
look at Para of Rice. Like they have the same problem. Like they give up 80, 90 a game. Like it's just not sustainable. Like their defensive numbers are. Oh,
Yeah, I mean Tulane wasn't like terrible on defense. Just more of an. I mean Tulane's problem is they just play so fast. So like they're going to give up points. Like that's
Well,
how
and
it
they don't
works.
recruit centers. They haven't recruited
Yeah,
centers for
Kevin
years.
Kevin Cross should not be playing center. As good as he is, he's a four. He should be
I don't
playing four.
know when Ron Hunter's gonna learn that he needs to recruit centers, but like
But
maybe
like
that
this
will help
this
his
team was
rim
good.
protection.
I mean,
They
like
were.
the
Um,
defensive problem was more because of like how fast they play. Like they weren't a terrible
and a
defense.
lack of
It's
a rim protector. A rim protector will
yeah.
help
I
their
mean, yeah.
defense
That
100%.
wasn't great. Tylen Pope was a rim protector though. I mean,
Yeah, for
don't have him. They don't
size.
have him anymore. But like he was a rim protector.
For size, he was good, but I
He
mean,
had a
still not a real
7.4
rim
block rate.
protector.
That is good.
That's good.
That's really
He's
good. That's
athletic.
borderline
Um,
top 50 nationally.
hmm,
It was really good. I do really that's a really underrated pick by Nevada. And Nevada's good. Nevada got some good defensive guys. They have a good defensive team.
clamps.
But yeah, Tulane they weren't terrible on defense. Besides like the Cross maybe shouldn't have been in the starting five. But they just played so fast. Like you're just gonna give up points on defense doing that. But
And then their
yeah,
bad shot selection would lead to fast break for other teams. That was another big thing that they don't get back on defense. I don't know. It's just like they need to make progress on that end if they're going to be good. They can, you can at least give up mid 70s and be fine with that pace, but you
their
can't
shot
give up
selection wasn't that bad. I mean, Forbes was an efficient scorer.
Cook. It's more Cook.
Cook was efficient. I mean, efficient enough for the volume he was taking.
Yeah,
I mean, he was out of control at some points.
yeah,
He
I mean,
was
the points they were
also
giving
their
up,
best
let's just
player.
be honest, it was just not normal. Like they need to get that
Well, that
down.
was because they played so fast. Like
It's not just
they
because of
they
that.
weren't a good defensive team, but they also weren't like an atrocious defensive team. Like they were top 150 in defense. Like definitely more offensive focused, but like you could take that.
I'm surprised we're even top 150. That's actually very
I mean,
surprising.
they played the second fastest team in the country, so that means people are
Yeah.
getting up a ton of shots against them.
Mm-hmm. If they just want to get like to be that top tier in a tournament team, it's going to be on the defensive end. It's just got to get better. Um, Being a
Yeah, I mean,
fast-paced team, like I know people use that as an excuse for a lot of teams that play fast and then they don't play defense, but like
I'm
you
not
can
saying their
still
defense
play
is
you
good,
still be
but
an average defensive team, but and be fast paced. Like
yeah, I
if
think
you
that's
have a
what they
rim
were.
protector, if you have like a really good five, I just think it's a recruiting flaw. I do like Tulane this year, but I don't know. Ron Hunter's disappointed me in years past. I expect them to be top tier, and everyone thinks that this is the year they're going to break through. Um,
Ron Hunter's a good coach.
he is, I guess. I
He's a
just
really good coach. So let's not disrespect Ron Hunter here.
no, I don't know. Like he's got to make the tournament. Like he's got the
It's
talent. He's the
Tulane. They've
Jalen
never
Cook.
been even respectable, and he's making them like that.
Yeah. Um, there's been opportunity though. Like they just can't get over that hurdle. I
Yeah, I
know it's
mean,
Houston. That was really that hurdle, but
yeah.
at least they're gone, and I think that'll open up opportunity because I think they can play with FAU and Memphis. I do. I think they have the style that can give them problems. So I think without Houston in the conference, it will be better for them. That's kind of more so why I'm high on them, really, because I think their pace of play can really work. Now that Houston's gone, and they kind of neutralized that. So that's really a reason I do like them this year. And they do have talent. Like I've Colin Holloway, I like Colby King, I like.
Colin Holloway's okay.
They got Trey Williams, who doesn't really play. Asher Woods is solid.
Yeah,
I
I
don't hate
mean,
that pickup.
VMI was terrible, but he was also their best player as a
Yeah, I'm
freshman.
about to say he was.
There's something that you can work with there.
Yeah,
Jordan Wood can stretch the floor a little bit. Like Greg Glenn, Michigan recruit.
Logan
Like
Stevens from Rutgers, I guess, is intriguing. I
he's
don't
walking
know.
on. But
Why
Percy
is he from
Daniels,
Rutgers?
is
Daniels was
form
hurt last year, right?
maybe he's either hurt or didn't play, but he was a
He was
former
supposed to be their
Seton Hall
center.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean he was supposed to be. I mean, not really their center, but like he was supposed to play a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, he could be impactful if he gets minutes at that rim protector position. Trey Williams, they got some decent freshmen too. Meyer
Mhm.
Panawam, point guard, Spencer Elliott, big man. Don't think either of those guys are going to see huge roles right away, but they're like top 300 guys. Like you can work with that.
Oh, for sure. Sion James.
Last team note is Memphis. I'm second.
Got the one pending that waiver.
Yeah,
Um,
second as of now though.
mhm.
Um, I'm taking it as DeAndre Williams is not eligible until he is because
Yeah,
he
I get
has
that.
exhausted his eligibility. We'll see if he plays, but yeah,
The things I do like, I like Jonathan Pierre. Jordan's a good depth piece.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
He'll give you defense if nothing else.
Mm,
Jordan Brown, love Jordan Brown.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Very
Ash,
skilled.
Ashton Hardaway, good pickup.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
got
I hope they get Ashton Hardaway. I hope they would not have fumbled that one.
yeah. Wonder why they got him. They got Carl Sharon Font, he's
Yeah,
pretty good
he's
too.
the freshman I like.
Yeah. Um, David Jones.
But this team is very talented at least. Like it's all a new team basically, but like starting lineup is like Quinterly, Caleb Mills, Walton,
Man,
Jones, and
imagine
Brown.
if they
Like
had
that's talented.
Theo Leonard and bring back
And
DeAndre
they could have
Williams.
if they had Tiafale, that would have been like he just brings like
And with a DeAndre waiver, oh my goodness, they would be insane. Uh,
Tiafale is just such a good defender. Like he
he
did
is.
everything in a defenseman, was just flying all around the court, getting dunks, getting
Mhm.
steals, getting blocks. Like he would just do everything on that end. And like, yeah, like maybe you got Walton and like after he like left to go pro, but like I don't know. Like I love Walton. I just like he's a very efficient scorer. He can shoot the ball, good catch and shoot player, can score the rim efficiently. But like he just doesn't bring like what you like lost. Like how
Mhm.
much does Walton bring you that like David Jones or Jonathan Pierre couldn't have just done themselves? Like
Mhm.
how much does Tiafale
Right.
bring from you that Memphis not have? He
Just a much better fit for the roster.
nobody this team did not have what he brought them. But
No.
and I think Penny's a great defensive coach, but like he was their defensive he was their defensive piece.
Yeah, Penny's a good. He's good scheme wise, but like the
I
rim reading,
think people hating him too much. He's a good coach.
he is. Oh, I like Penny. The reason they're really elite defensively though is because of their athletes that they recruit 100%. They got
Yeah.
really big
I think
bodies
he
and
also got the
athletes.
most out of him though.
He does. No, 100%. Both can be true, and both are
Mm.
true. No, there'll be a good defensive team this year. Mikey Williams, I think, just got arrested for something.
I mean, he's been like he won't play this year because he's like dealing with the court stuff. Like I think his thing is like going back to court, so like he can't play, like he can't be on the team like until that's settled and it's
All right,
not
it's
settled.
not gonna settle
Um,
itself.
I I don't think he's gonna
No,
be on the team ever. It's unfortunate, but yeah, did to himself, so can't really be
you
too
know,
upset
I
about
like
that.
Malcolm Dandridge a lot. I think he's gonna be great.
I mean,
Really high
he's a
activity
solid
big.
backup center.
Yeah,
Him
really
and
good on the
Jourdain, solid
glass.
backup base. Jaden Hardaway, probably should not have been getting as many minutes as he was at the end of last year.
Um,
But he's Penny's son, so he's gonna play, I guess.
yep.
Jalen Young, UCF transfer point guard. You take him for like a backup point guard, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
he's really their only backup point guard. But yeah,
Yeah,
like the
I'm
talent
curious
on
to
this
see the
team.
fit of this roster.
Yeah, the
JQ
talent,
will
the
make this.
talent is undeniable. Like there's
Mm,
talent here. Some issues I have is one main issue, like based on any team like this, is just continuity. Like
no,
they
of
return
course.
no one from last year, just pending Williams.
Or
Um,
what you say, the baggage.
yes, that's the other thing. Like a lot of these players that are like the super talented players have question marks, have issues. You look at Draycon Walton, he got arrested this offseason. He's been at like a ton of different schools. He's been at
Jesus.
like JUCO, Mississippi State, committed to Alabama, I think committed to like Georgia.
I'm about to say
Or
he
no,
committed
was at
everything.
Georgia and he went to JUCO. He committed to Mississippi State, decommitted, went to Wichita State, transferred from there, committed to Alabama, had to decommit when he got kicked off for getting arrested, committed to UCF, decommitted from there and went to Memphis. Like he's
Oh my
talented, he's an
goodness.
efficient scorer, but
You
like
got the
you have all of
timeline.
those. Yeah, like that's quite the I think he committed somewhere else when he was in high school too, when he decommitted. I don't know.
Jeez.
David Jones is people have said the rumors are he's not a good like
He's a
locker room
locker room
guy.
cancer.
I
He
mean,
quit the team last year.
he, um I mean, Caleb Mills was a guy that quit on Houston a few years ago. when he was supposed to be
Nice.
really good and he just wasn't, and he just walked away in December. Like is that the guy you really want to get? That was, I mean, he was okay last year, but
There's
Flores State
gonna
was
be some
also bad.
fireworks on this team
Like
for
like
sure.
JQ's had some like in things in the past. Remember when you said like he didn't even want to be at Villanova when he was like still there?
Right.
Like
Just
because
dumb
he committed
stuff.
to Arizona, but then he decommitted when
I
they were like
remember
going
that.
through all those scandals. Then he posted something in his Instagram story like it was my second chance for a reason, or it was my second choice for a reason, or something like that. So that not a great look. He's obviously far removed from that.
Hmm.
Jordan Brown, I mean, obviously not a guy that's I've seen had like a ton of like issues himself, but also
Yeah.
been at
Jordan
four
Brown's a
schools.
leader.
It's his four school.
Role
Like
model.
that's still not great. Um, I mean, I don't know of anything he's done. I know he wasn't happy with Muss when he didn't play him as a freshman, but I feel like that's just a normal thing for a
Let's do that.
5-star freshman at a
Let's-
mid major not playing. That probably wouldn't be too happy either. But yeah, Jonathan Pierce
They
should be
need
fine.
DeAndre Williams to be that leader. You
Yeah,
know,
DeAndre Williams is so
they,
good. I don't think he should be eligible. It's kind of ridiculous if he is, but like he's also so good a player. Like he would be my conference player of the year. He'd probably be an
right.
All-American. He is that good.
Mhm.
It would really
And
make
he's
me
good for the
consider.
locker room too, man. They need that
Yeah.
veteran guy who's been through it, who
It would really
for
make me
sure.
consider Memphis versus FAU. I think I would still have FAU. I have FAU clearly number one right now. I think the talent
Hmm.
on this Memphis team is still more a little bit
Hmm.
like if everyone plays their full potential, I think Memphis could be a little better. But like FAU just has done it before. A lot of these players are not coming from good teams. JQ is really the only guy coming from a good team. Like Florida State was terrible. Wichita State wasn't that good. St. John's was very disappointing. Louisiana was, I mean, good for mid major, but like
Never good because of
they were
Jordan
good. I mean,
Brown.
they made the tournament, but like, yeah, like it's not like they were some dominant team. They just kind of did good in the Sun Belt tournament. Like they weren't
Mhm.
amazing in the regular season. Obviously, Pierre coming from a D2 powerhouse, that's not really an issue. The more issue is just like the level of play, which I think he still should be good. Like Temple was very underwhelming. Not that that was Drain's fault, but like UCF was just all Taylor Hendricks last year was why they were kind of competitive. So like there's just so many question
I
marks
also
that
just think there's gonna be like some incident with the team. Someone's gonna get suspended. Like something's gonna happen.
hopefully we got it out of the way with Mikey Williams. Like hopefully
I
that's
hope.
it.
I just think it's
Um,
this team's taking time bomb or something. That's what I'm
yeah,
worried about. But like, if DeAndre Williams comes back, I won't feel that way. Like, he'll be able to keep that locker room, I think, in check.
I kind of agree. Um, any more thoughts in the conference?
I don't know. It was a fun one to do.
Yeah, FAU versus Memphis. That is appointment television this year.
That's for sure.
Like both
World
teams
War
are
Three.
really good. Both fan bases. Well, FAU doesn't really have a fan base. Memphis fan base have been
They
very vocal
FAU
on
is
Twitter.
rent free, and then
Some of those Memphis Twitter accounts are just hilarious to look at. Like
they are so funny.
like Will.
Oh
Have you seen
no,
his tweets? It's hilarious. But
no.
he tweets some crazy stuff, but it's very funny at the least. I will give him that. But yeah, they are. This is going to be a matchup to watch. Still a conference to watch. A lot of decent piece in the middle too. Some intrigue there. But yeah, let's see what conference is next. Maybe Horizon.
Horizon.
Horizon, I like. I was
I
looking through the
know.
rosters the other day, and like I'm like this conference is kind of stacked, low key. Um, but yeah, make sure to follow our social media accounts at Hoop Scoop Media, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching that on here, give us a 5-star rating on a podcast apps. If you're listening to them on there, our YouTube channel has really been growing lately. Let's see what it's at now, like 184 subscribers or something. Last time I checked, 185. So yeah, really like to really appreciate all the interactions, all the likes, all the subscribers. Really building something here, and we will continue to roll through our conference previews, starting with the Horizon next off. So we will see you then.